Hi everybody, Angie back for another Barista Basics video. This is actually the first Barista Basics video to be filmed after starting my final semester of college. It has been going well so far. I've only had one class twice, but all of them seem enjoyable, and I look forward to taking on the semester. I hope that if you're in school, you are looking forward to it as well. We can do it together, we got this. But yeah, so I'm just excited about that. But before we get into today's video, I do need to make my disclaimer, of course, that any opinions stated in my videos are my own. I'm not here to represent Starbucks or any other corporation or impede on any of these companies' intellectual properties or trademarks. My videos are, of course, just meant for fun and educational purposes. So with all of that exposition out of the way, we can go ahead and get into today's topic, which is another pretty easy one. Should be relatively brief as well. These are the different variations of lattes. So when we spoke about lattes in one of our previous episodes, we defined a latte as any beverage that's made with milk, because latte means milk in Italian. Of course, when you say a latte, most people will assume you mean a latte with espresso, and that's where a lot of these variations come into play. So to reiterate, we do have, of course, espresso-free lattes. For example, a matcha green tea latte from Starbucks or a London fog tea latte from Starbucks. Those don't contain any espresso, but they can be called a latte, of course, because they have milk. Both equally as tasty, would recommend. Now to get into some of the more fun stuff, though, we have our lattes with espresso. And so, of course, our most basic, my breath keeps on knocking this paper over, sorry. I should probably do this instead, right? Our flavored lattes are sort of the most basic variation of a latte. Of course, this is you adding, vanilla syrup, caramel syrup, what have you, into your latte. And of course, these will impart whatever flavor of the syrup you're adding. Personally, I really like vanilla in my lattes, as well as during the holidays at Starbucks, I like to get white mocha and chestnut praline. Hack, that is a good combination, trust me. When holidays roll around again, I would definitely recommend trying that. But anyways, so flavored lattes, super yummy. The most basic variation of a latte. Moving into something a little more complicated, we have the cappuccino. And this is very similar to a latte, except there is much more foam as opposed to steamed milk. So, if you've ever ordered a cappuccino and you pick it up and it feels like there's nothing in your cup, that is how you know you received a well-made cappuccino. Because the majority of the drink should be foam, which of course is not very heavy. However, this isn't to say that you can't get a cappuccino a little more on the wet side, meaning you like to have a little more steamed milk than usual, or you could have it on the dry side, which is even more foam, basically no steamed milk at all. It's just whatever suits your fancy. But yeah, so cappuccinos are pretty similar to lattes, except a lot more foamy, essentially. And I thought I would also include a flat white on here. I'm not sure if this is just a Starbucks drink. I assume it exists other places as well, but a flat white is a very special kind of latte because it specifically utilizes ristretto shots, which we spoke about in one of our previous episodes. Of course, ristretto shots are shots that are pulled for a less amount of time, so they are sweeter, they're not as bitter. And so a flat white specifically uses these shots and steamed whole milk. And whole milk is another vital and important component to a flat white because whole milk, as the name sort of implies, has a lot more lactose in it, has a lot more fat in it. So when you steam it, it brings out sort of this innate sweetness in it and this creaminess, which work really well in a flat white. So that's another drink I would definitely recommend. Love a good flat white. I used to really not be into espresso or coffee or anything, but I started working at Starbucks, and a flat white was, for me anyways, sort of like a good middle ground now I'm just like, I've dived in head first, but then Fleming and flat white is still good now. But anyways, love a good flat white. So those are sort of the main variations of a latte, but I also thought I would, of course, it would be worth mentioning that you can, of course, create variety with your lattes by also changing up the type of milk you use. So, you know, ordinarily you order a latte or any latte, any drink with milk, and it's probably going to be dairy milk, some sort of dairy milk, 2%, you know, skim milk, whole milk, whatever. But of course, there are dairy substitutes, dairy-free substitutes. And so I listed some of the most common ones here. We have soy milk, we have almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk, and cashew milk. Now, I personally have tried the first three before, but not the latter two. I am really curious about oat milk because it is said to be kind of comparable to whole milk because it is a lot fattier than a lot of these other dairy-free substitutes. I think cashew milk is pretty creamy as well. So I'd like to try both of those at some point, hopefully. I kind of know oat milk is on like a trend or whatever right now. So that's something I'd like to hop on. And then of course, as you can see on the bottom, there are various other kinds of dairy-free milks, you know, any sort of nut you can make milk from, essentially. I've had rice milk before, which is pretty good. I don't think it would do really well in a latte because it's pretty like watery. But yeah, enough about just substitute milks. I can go ahead and close out the video. I hope that you guys found this video interesting. I hope that, of course, you learned something, and I hope that you guys have a great day. And if you're in school, I hope that you're having a great semester, or I hope that you're going to have a great semester. Otherwise, I thank you guys for checking the video out, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.